A 3080 with a 5600X along with 32 gigabytes of RAM making this image is not really what you want to see. So in today's episode of PC Sherpa, we're going to fix that. This series aims to help you guys, the viewers, figure out your problems with Escape from Tarkov for performance or visual fidelity or anything like that. If you want to get a chance to participate in one of these videos though, there is the form which will be linked down in the description below, which you can just fill out. It's a couple questions and then you might be drawn to participate in one of these videos. Luckily though, that's not the only way you can get help for your issues, as there is my Discord, which is the very first link in the description, along with my streams, which are Friday at 6:30 p.m. CST and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. CST. Both of those times, you can come into the chat and ask me anything live, and I'll be able to help you out then too. With all that stuff out of the way though, let's just jump straight into the video and fix whatever this was. Oh man, you have everything at the lowest, don't you? I feel like I can already tell. I can already
yes,
tell.
I do.
Holy shit, it's made of clay. Okay, we're gonna lock this in. So first things first. So you see in the top left there, right? Your GPU is at 35%. That's 100% CPU bound. Like you look at that number, it's like, okay, well, all right, because then the GPU is waiting and saying like, okay, I need more frames, and your CPU's just like, I can't keep up, and so your GPU is just idle sometimes because it doesn't have anything to do.
That is such like a easy explanation, and like I did not think of that, but that makes a ton of sense to me.
You can think of it as like a Henry Ford level production line where one person puts a bolt in and then it moves to the next thing. If the CPU is taking 15 seconds to put a bolt in, the GPU takes 1 second to put the other bolt in. Then you got 14 seconds where the GPU is doing nothing.
Got it. Okay.
First, I'm going to divert this conversation away from that because we'll go back there towards the end. Let's figure out the setting situation because I need to stop looking. I need to stop looking at this picture right now. All right, let's hit escape real quick. Let's figure this out. I see you got automatic RAM cleaner on. That's good.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's get to the meat. You're playing at 50.
The meat.
50 FOV. Okay, this is crazy. All right, graphics.
My buddy gave me shit for that too.
Whoa! Okay, what's happening here? Okay, all right. Why are you running DLSS?
Gosh, I can't really remember. I thought that I noticed an increase in my frames a little bit with it on.
So,
and like that was like it like ended there. Yeah, pretty much.
When you'll see. Oh wait, what's your GPU again?
3080.
Okay, we're good. I was just thinking of the VRAM buffer, but we're good. That's enough. When you have DLSS on like this, DLSS and like FSR 1.0 or 2.2, they're all upscalers. The resolution, so when you downgrade the resolution, it makes it easier for the GPU to render the frame. This will have no impact on CPU bound performance whatsoever. So if you straight up just turn DLSS from balanced to off, you should see absolutely no difference in performance at all.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do that.
Or you might see a slight dip since we're in offline, but we'll see. So just turn that off, go back in game, and let's just see that real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same, I think.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I'll pull up in the video and see, but yeah, I think that's roughly this. I don't remember hitting triple digits before.
No,
though.
I don't either, actually, now that you say that. Oh yeah, I think that actually may be a bit higher.
Yeah, I think that's a bit higher.
And it's probably going to make my lasers look a lot better, because that made my lasers look terrible.
Texture quality, you can probably rock at medium, but you can't adjust that right now, so that's fine. Your GPU, do you know if you have the 3080 10 gigabyte or the 12 gigabyte model?
10.
10. Okay, you got the 10 gig model. Okay, I have a 3070 Ti. So I have 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and I'm generally okay running medium, but I have to go to low for streets, so I just run the low texture resolution mode. So you should be fine with medium on most maps, and then you can see on streets what's how it feels for you, and then adjust accordingly. If you want to stay low on streets, that's fine, because honestly most people are doing that.
Oh, medium is going to be so nice.
Yes, medium is such a step up from low, it's like not even funny. Overall visibility, LOD quality are fine. Since you're in a CPU bound scenario, you could try turning down LOD quality a little bit, as it does scale a little bit, but you can start seeing pop in below 3 for the most part. I run at 2.5, but you won't see too much of a performance difference either way.
Okay. Would you suggest putting it at 2.5? Or does it really
that's
not
what
matter
I run
much?
at, because I don't notice the pop in that much, mainly because I suck at the game. But if you
I'm not great either, so
yeah,
we'll give it a go.
yeah, you can try that, and just like if you want to just walk around for a second and see if it feels better as I keep talking. It'll be easiest to see trees in the distance, but you also probably see it with like trash on the ground and stuff as well. Like I measured, it helps in CPU bound performance like slightly. Like
Okay.
So it's not that good, but it was a measurable improvement, which is not often seen with most of these settings.
Fair.
Overall visibility was nothing, so feel free to just keep that at whenever you see fit. That just controls like the distant objects, you know, so like background pieces, stuff like that really doesn't.
Sure, I'm not usually paying attention to that stuff too much.
Anti-aliasing is fine. I'm a TA high guy as well. That should be fine since you're in such a CPU bound scenario. Should have no problems with that.
Okay.
If you ever notice though that you're like, man, it just feels blurry at range, if you turn that down to like FXAA, the difference between those two is that TAA, the reason why TAA might be blurry is because it takes the data from multiple frames. So if you run with either FXAA, which is fast approximate anti-aliasing, it's a single frame, or if you run with no anti-aliasing, which I don't recommend because I think it looks like doo-doo. Either way, it should look a bit clearer, even though there'd be a lot more shimmering in the image. It'll look clearer.
Okay, fair. I'll probably leave that for now and then maybe just toy with it once we get everything else kind of
if you feel like
order.
it's ever too blurry, that could be a reason.
Fair. And you mean blurry like if you're looking like across the lake from like the med camp area over to
well, the biggest
Sherman's
thing,
place?
actually, it's right in front of you in game. I think you're right next to some. It's like bushes. Any sort of foliage, TAA tends to have a not so nice time with, like right there or to your left. All that stuff right there. If you look at that for a while, you see how it sways and you get a little bit blurry. Not that much, but a little bit. If you set that to FXAA, it's. I mean, honestly, I don't like rooting for FXAA, but it is a little bit of a night and day difference. Like it's a lot different.
Oh wow, it's like way more like crisp. It looks like more defined.
Yeah. Now you can reduce that a little bit if you up the sharpness in game to like kind of counteract that, but
I almost think I like the way it feels the other way.
Yeah, if you like, but whatever preference, because it won't impact your performance really either way. Now, another thing I think that you had off, which I can kind of tell based on the image. Let's see. Scroll down a little bit. Oh no, it's actually okay. Anisotropic filtering. Yeah, that's good that it's at per texture. Since you have all that extra GPU headroom, you could try running on and see how you feel, because I think it just like the clarity on textures that you aren't facing like directly at is just so much better. But it'll be your call. You can feel free to test it if you want.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Like, do you see like the pavement and the road?
Oh yeah. And then let me try.
It's hard to spot for most people, but I do think it looks better when it's forced on, though that does have a bit of an impact on GPU on performance.
And so since I do have quite a bit of room there, that should be an okay setting to switch performance-wise.
If you sit right here for a second and then watch your GPU usage for a second, see where it roughly sits. It looks like it's 35 to 36. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's jumping occasionally, but that's just Tarkov for you. And then if you swap back in and then turn it forced on, you should see that like a couple percentage points higher when you force it on.
Yep, and then it's like it sits a little bit higher. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably leave that on then. I mean, I'm trying to like, that was what I'm trying to do. I was like, I want to like flex the system in the best way that I can without it hurting.
Something that I like, I mean, I mentioned this in the video, and I didn't really notice any sort of performance impact with it, though I gotta do my official like re-benchmark of every single setting this way. I just haven't had the time yet. Is SSR. It's your call whether you like it or not, but I really like having it at least low, just for the eye candy. I don't know if you'll be able to see it as much when it's not raining or anything, but you can feel free to set it to low and see if you see it.
Yeah, see it. So what would that be like changing?
So the biggest thing that controls is like reflections in windows, puddles, water, or like, for example, if it's raining, you'll actually see like your gun gets a little bit more like shimmery and like looks like wet.
Oh, that's nice. I've been missing those types of things.
Yeah, and that'll also, like, if you set it up higher, it may look a bit bad on low, but like at least on medium, it does look really nice. High can be a bit demanding though, so that's why I don't recommend pushing too high. I don't know if you can really see it when there's no like
water or anything. Yeah. Well, that's definitely something that I can mess with. Is that gonna change? Would that be more like GPU side of things as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we're looking to push that percentage up, then I might as well have it on if it's gonna like help me. If it's gonna make it look better and not like tank my frames, then I'm in for it.
Now the next thing, let me look at your PostFX settings.
I usually don't run them, or I haven't been.
Okay. We're gonna change that. All right, I'm converting you.
Let's do it. So I like have done like I've like usually just like I've like had to like crank my like Nvidia settings mostly just to be able to see anything.
PostFX, I mean, people diss them. There's like, I don't know why there's such a huge rumor around PostFX, but firstly, hit enable. Well, I'll demonstrate this live. So hit enable, set everything back to standard. So colorfulness 0, brightness saturation at 0, whole 9 yards, and then that's all good. Now hit visualize. Okay, so now, right, when you're here, if you can turn up everything, all the other sliders except clarity and adaptive sharpen, and there will be no impact to your GPU bound performance at all. The only settings that have an impact on performance at all for my benchmarking is clarity and adaptive sharpen. Arguably, those are the best settings to run with clarity and adaptive sharpen because it does just help the image so much and makes it clearer. But if you do run it, you do have more load on the GPU. It can be a performance impact if you're GPU bound. Lucky for you, you have a shit ton of headroom, at least according to the offline RAID, so you should be able to tailor this to whatever you feel like. Do you want my PostFX? And then you can just like see...
I would totally. I like to have like a benchmark like that, and then I can play with it at some point if I need to or want to. Would you recommend like having my like Nvidia settings like set back to normal?
How much have you tinkered with them?
They're pretty cranked. Like my let's see, what I know there's like one setting that I have.
Do you have
like,
digital
cranked,
vibrance up?
I do. I have that up like a lot, and then I also have like my gamma's like pretty high and contrast. I like trying to balance like contrast and gamma to be able to like see inside of a dark room and like trying to balance it there.
Yeah. If you like how that looks and you use it in other games and you're fine with that, then you can just totally rock with that. If you like how that looks for everything. PostFX,
I don't. I hate it. Honestly, it like makes my desktop look bad too.
So feel free to
the
set
things
that
I
back.
do for Tarkov.
Yeah, feel free to set that back, and then we can adjust it. And then also, I'm gonna do you a little favor as well. In those NVIDIA control panel settings, I can't see where you are in them, but in there it should be under. Yeah, here it is. So under adjust video color settings, and then in the NVIDIA, like with the NVIDIA settings, you just want to check that. And then go over to dynamic range, and then set that.
Oh, yep.
Set that from limited to full, and then you can apply that. And then in the same sort of thing and change resolution. If you scroll onto the bottom, you'll see the same thing. Use NVIDIA color settings. Then you want to go to output dynamic range, set to full.
Okay, cool.
And that should give you a increased range for really bright or really dim areas. So if it's really dark, it'll be darker, but it'll have a better accuracy with the colors in those ranges. It won't have to like just like bottom out as often.
That's fantastic. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then once you got that set, this is actually a perfect spot right here. If you just want to stop and then go to the PostFX again, this is like it right here. You can feel free to set them to whatever's comfortable, but mine are quite extreme, so
I'm just gonna like keep that at I'm just gonna set that as a benchmark, and then I can play with that. Wow, that makes a huge difference.
And also just so you know, the performance impact from clarity and adaptive sharpen between 1 and 100, it doesn't matter where you set it. Once you have it set anywhere that's not 0, the performance impact hits. So
Okay. Oh, so if it's 1 or 80, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, same. Doesn't matter.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Looks great.
It's
and
a little.
I forgot that
I know it's a
this
little.
is also gonna be. That's okay. I had like full saturation going on my Nvidia settings, anyways. And wow, this is just the game just looks so much more like crisp.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
It doesn't look like a big piece of clay now.
You don't have Vaseline on your eyes anymore. It does look a little. Are those like? I see like the bars shimmering up there.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, that's TAA just struggling with how to alias that, pretty much.
And so if I were to change that, the TAA to, what do you think? Maybe that would be the next step?
FXAA or off, you'll just see a lot of shimmering. That's all.
Okay. And is that going to go away as I get closer?
Yeah, as you get closer, the image will get more stable. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Because when an object's that far away, there's just less and less pixels to work with, and it gets to the point where like the algorithms for anti-aliasing or sharpening it just like don't know what to do, or they clash, or a mixture of both of them, and then they just fumble. They just fumble it. The next thing, since you do have a lot of GPU headroom, I will mention this because I made a video on it. I don't personally like it, and since I don't know, you were fine with the Nvidia control panel, but you didn't really like messing with all that. Have you heard of DLDSR?
No.
It's essentially like a DLSS, but the other way around. So it'll render the game at a higher resolution and then downscale the game to fit your monitor's native resolution. You have to set this through the Nvidia control panel, but it will just stretch out the resolution. Then you have to set it in game too, I'm pretty sure anyway. And then it'll upscale that, and then it's got to shrink back down to native. I don't know if you can apply this on a game-by-game basis. It's been forever since I tested it, but I made a video on it. And if you're really just stuck behind your CPU and you just have a ton of headroom to spare, you can upscale and then have it go back down to native. Obviously, that's a lot more work for the GPU to do, but that can help with the image stability if you ever find that annoying and you want it to be more stable.
Like those things up here that we're looking at?
Because it's like essentially providing the image with a ton more pixels to figure everything out, and then it just shrinks it to your native resolution.
Should we try it?
You could try it, yeah, if you want to. I don't know. You might be able to do it live. We'll see. I mean, we'll find out. It's in managed 3D settings. I know that. And then DSR factors is where you want to change it first. I don't think you can change it for program settings. Let me see. No, you can't. So when you apply DSR, which is when you click on it, it's the DL scaling. That's where the DL comes in. But
so there's like the 2.25 or 1.78.
Yep, 2.25 is more intensive than 1.78. But you can see like the resolution it would render at if you were to set it, and that's a global thing. So we'll be doing that all the time.
Oh, okay. And so would I want that to be at 1440 or the 1620?
Most of the time, I recommend 1.78 times, regardless of resolution, because like you can think of it's 1.78 times your current resolution.
Oh, right, because it scales up and then okay, got it.
Okay, so now that you're in game, just go ahead and set the full screen and then try to change it. I don't know if the screen share will fuck up, but we'll try it. Yep. Yes, it did. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, there we go.
All right.
Now save. Now, UI elements will be a little bit smaller. But you can see your GPU usage went way up.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But if you go over to that rough same spot, or if you just look at railings in the distance, stuff should look a lot more stable.
Let's see if I can get over there real quick.
And two, you don't have to try it just yet. I want you to see that railing first and make a decision for yourself. But what people do, like the rumor on the street, right, was that they used this, the upscaling, and then on top of that, after they had the deep learning upscaling, then they used DLSS on quality to then render back at their native resolution. Then it's like, oh my god. But then when you do that, then it's like essentially using DLSS as a anti-aliasing technique. So, because then you're just at the resolution you started with pretty much, even though there's a lot of post-processing too. But that
It's way better.
Yeah.
It's way better. Yeah, like way better. I'm gonna keep it for now because that's like way better. Yeah.
Now you could try if you want to. You try DLSS on quality and see how you feel. And then once you have DLSS on quality, then you shouldn't notice much difference in performance, even if you got the GPU bottlenecks you had before. Shouldn't be much of a difference. That's really stable, honestly.
Yeah, and there's no change in frames. They're actually like climbing a little bit. And the GPU percentage went like down a lot.
Yeah, now it's still the GPU. It's obviously there's still a bit more load on it just from having to upscale. Because it's still, I believe if my math's right, it's still like roughly 12% higher resolution than when you started with. But generally, it's not too much of an impact, even if you're GPU bound. I just found it a pain because having to do like productivity apps and everything like that with the resolution all upscaled like that was kind of a pain. So
sure. And I don't do much with this. I literally like play video games. That's like about it on this thing, and like mostly this game.
Well, then there you go. I mean, this looks really good. Frankly, I think
it does.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I like got into this raid and I'm like, oh my gosh.
And just like that, his game went from looking like Roblox to looking like actually Tarkov. It's crazy what a couple settings changes can do. I hope you enjoyed this sort of chronological storytelling instead of how I did it normally, where it was trying to piece together multiple different people's issues and everything into one story. Figured this would be a lot better, even though it's more raw in a sense. And let me know what you think or how I should adjust it in the comments below, as I'm still tweaking and experimenting with this type of video. So just let me know what you'd like to see down in the description, and thank you for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to hit the usual liking and subscribing and all that crap, like you know how it goes. But thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers, and for now, this will be Clem, clocking out. Later.